Assalamu alaikum dear students, this is your course instructor Aisha Sadiq from Department of English, University of Southern Punjab, Multan. Student, in this lecture I am going to tell you the story of Tabinta, a character of Amir Hussein's short story, A Needle Women's Calendar. So student, here is the story. Tabinda was a needle woman. She was not agreed to marry with Suhail, but her mother's cousin had chosen Suhail for him. She was forced to marry with Suhail. 7 weeks after marriage, Suhail left for England and she found herself carrying Suhail's baby. She was fed with fruits, nuts and milky sweets until she gave birth to a girl named Nasreen. In her laws were not happy on daughter birth, but by passage of time, her relation becomes stronger with her daughter. Now when she knew that her husband has a new wife, she used to think about the story of a prince laid in enchanted garden with needles covering his full body. Then princess came and she removed needles from whole body, but not from the eyes. She went for taking bath in near river. When she came back, she found servant women having needles in her hand and she was claiming as prince's wife. This was her dream. Tabinda had already seen Charity's photo in Suhail's jacket. She compared herself with Princess and Charity with the woman servant who removed needles from Prince's eyes. Student Tabinda has been planning her escape. She dressed Nasreen and she also pulled down burqa on her cloth. She sent gatekeeper for Tanga and she left a message for her mother-in-law that she is going to visit family jeweler for repairing some jewelry item. She sold 2 heavy gold bracelets and a gem to jeweler in a very little price for purchasing a train ticket from Lahore to Karachi. She booked a third-class seat and started her journey to Karachi. This was the first time she was out alone. Through the way, she brought some snacks, chickpeas and potatoes for her daughter Nasreen. After a journey of 1 day and 1 night, she arrived at Karachi. Now she took a rickshaw for going to Lalukhet where her family is living. Although she haven't told anything to his family, not even about the second marriage of her husband, nor about her coming to home. Tabinda decides to write Suhail for divorce, but her father Sheikh Usman Hanfi told her that she can also claim for alimony pledged to you in your marriage contract, but she only demanded for divorce. But they wanted custody of Nasreen. Nasreen was below than 7, then she will be kept by her mother. She was angry that why Suhail didn't ask him about his second marriage. Now the problem is what she should do for earning, for her economic stability. He was good at reciting Quran. She decided to teach Quran to the children, but this job was suited to her. She decided to start doing business. Soon she got fame in society because of her great work. Once her mother protested that she should stop his job and should think about her married life instead of sewing people's cloth. A woman shouldn't become a seamstress. She quoted from Behishti Zevar that the Holy Prophet ﷺ praised Hazrat Fatima Tajahish for her long hand, and he ﷺ praised her working with hand. Her father added from Behishti Zevar that virtuous should work at home like calligraphy, bookbinding, teaching the alphabet, etc. Now when she used to have a large number of customers, she asked her father for covered veranda in which she wanted to teach her students. Now in neighbor, she made a new shop in the room where she shifted all her things to camel cart and hanged a poster outside claiming no bahar, ladies and children's garment and fancy needlework. Now 5 years has passed. She is able to rent a building in PECHS neighboring town in Karachi. It is difficult for many customers who are living in city to visit, relocate where she is far away from them. She left some female workers behind in relocate who are not feeling comfortable in working far away from their home. For working in city, she required more workers, so she called on job refugees, women living nearby them. 2 years ago, she sent back the sum she received for selling bracelet and ring back to her parents in law. She also received some money in lieu which she saved in bank in account name with Nasreen. Now the Nobahar is a famous shop of its kind. Shamim is a teacher. She is assigned a job to take Noreen to school and drop her back at her mother's shop. Shamim is a talkative woman. Once she gave Tabinda a volume of verses written by her brother Umar Beg. So then she also asked Tabinda for her photograph one day. 6 years has passed. She never thinks about her married life. It's going to 10 years that she has not seen her husband. Is he come back in Lahore or he returned back to London? She used to spend her time alone. Nasreen was 9 and Taminda was nearly 30. She used to spend her time with her daughter Nasreen in a room that she specially furnished for her. She also furnished a big room for her daughter. At the weekend, she used to visit his parents in Lalukhet, where Nasreen used to play with her cousins. Once Tabinda's sister-in-law asked her to arrange second marriage for her. It will be good for her future and even for the future of Nasreen. But after Suhail, she never thinks about marriage. Sometimes she received proposal, but she refused to marry. For a year, she works on embroidering a bedspread, a tree with two birds on its branches, a blue and a gold, a stamp float beside it. She made it for Nasreen marriage. It was a March afternoon. She is waiting for Shamim to bring back Nasreen to home. She is also listening to a song played nearby in Noor Jahan's voice. Now, instead of reading digest or a religious pamphlet from table, she took the volume given to her by Shamim. If you remember, I previously told you her brother's verses, Umar Beg's. Two verses captured her restless eyes. One spoke about the season, how the poet has asked, could those who suffered winter's winds ever forget the smell of jasmine in spring? The other celebrated the blue of the sea. To those eyes that had never seen the blue sky, look at its reflection in the sea's wave. Shamim told that her brother took her to the Clifton to see the sea. Tabinda also desired to visit the seashore. Shamim asked her to be prepared. She will ask her brother to borrow a car and take them to visit seashore. Student, while Shamim and Nasreen were taking camel's ride, Umar spoke to Tabinda. He told her about his age, 27, and also about his job. He also told her that he is living with his family in Bahadrabad, where they came from Deccan. He also offers her to marry with him. Tabinda was quite silent and listening to him. She could only make one comment about the same. Student Umar sends her parents to Lalukhet to visit Tabinda's parents with gifts. They agreed for marriage and Umar and Tabinda got married in June. They were known each other from March. Marriage was simple. Only the two families attended the marriage ceremony. Tabinda dressed in red chiffon sari. She was forced to wear the jewelry sent to her by her mother-in-law. Umar's part was also very simple. Umar gave a meher of 25,000 to Tabinda. So student, at the time Tabinda said that Umar will live in the room she had furnished so far in her house. Now the life started and changing. Umar used to come back from job after 2 hours of sunset when Nasreen always used to go to sleep. Tabinda used to arrange two chairs at corridor which she called gallery, where she used to sit with her husband Umar and used to tell her about his day's stories. He also uh, tell her about Ayub's government. They discussed the political issues. She also learned some new terms. Sometimes Umar's friends used to visit them. Some of them are poets, some are painters, and other are journalists. They used to take tea and they used to read poetry. She also used to sit with them, but mostly she, after passing a smile, used to went back. Once or twice they went outside to participate in some programs. Once they heard Kawali and Tabinda decided to ask Umar to call them at home. Once at night, she dreamed and got frightened. It was raining in Karachi and water came inside the home. She is waiting for Umar to come back to home when two policemen came in and they started throwing everything on floor, but they couldn't find what they want. At that night, Umar didn't come home. She called Shamim and asked her to avoid sharing his news to parents and told them that Umar went to Sakkar for some job. Umar didn't come home for 29 nights. She visited Ashraf, the editor of newspaper where Umar was working. He told that police captured him for writing to poems. He also tells her that don't worry, he will be free. She also offered Ashraf some money for the sake of bail, but he refused to take it. She now realized that she is carrying Umar's child in her belly. It was 13th night when Noreen came to her and asked Aminda that someone is at the door. She opened the door and found Umar at the door. Umar was badly injured and his one arm was hanged in his neck. He first took bath and then told Tabinda about the whole incident, that they took him to Hyderabad jail. It was because he wrote poem against the Zia's government. It was Ayub Zira. They investigated the issue, but due to no proof, they escaped him. Tabinda also tells her about his baby in Tabinda's belly, and Umar asked that he will invite Kawals to on his child, but now Noreen also start calling Umar as his father, Abu. Now the storm has stopped. Tabinda's re-embroidered the bedspread. Umar insists that Noreen will become a scientist one day because her interest in insects. Tabinda asks Umar to start his bookshop. He finds a place nearby for his shop. Shamim is still doing his job of taking Noreen to school and takes her back at home. Umar's parents decided to have pilgrim to Makkah. Tabinda and Umar students, they sometimes used to have chocolate and cake outside. They used to eat biryani near Jinnah's tomb, whom Tabinda calls rice. Sometimes they used to go to PECH for eating kebab. So they started having a happy life. So student, this short story, Needle Women's Calendar, it is about Tabinda, the female protagonist, the struggle for her own identity, struggle for her own emancipation, struggle to make her life better. It was a struggle of every woman who wanted to strive, who wanted to live a independent and dignified life in in our society. So student, I just told you the whole story, a detailed story of Needle Women's Calendar. Now it's on you people that in the discussion room and the lecture we will discuss the feminist aspect, the decision making, Tabinda's decision of taking divorce and leaving her husband's home and having the custody of her daughter and establishing her as economically strong and starting her business, and eventually in the second half of the story her remarriage with Umar. So we will discuss all these things from the feminist lens and from other social and economic perspective, and the perspective of, and the social perspective of a Pakistani society. So student, this is all about today's lecture. Take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.